Hello, everyone. My name is Vikas Jain, and we are at Real Education Live by the RealEducation.com. And today we have an amazing guest with us, Ashwini Bhave. Hi, Ashwini. How are you?
Hi, Vikas. How are you? Good, all good.
Yeah, thanks. So today we are going to learn from Ashwani an amazing thing, the power of gratitude. A quick introduction about Ashwani Bhave. Ashwani Bhave is the founder of Human to Human. She is a psychologist, energy healer, a coach with over 20 years of experience. So let's deep dive to understand the power of gratitude with Ashwani Bhave. So Ashwani,
Yes.
quick
Yes.
introduction for the users that what is actually gratitude?
So gratitude is a feeling. It has to come within a feeling of being thankful, a feeling of being grateful. And it also is a feeling of being generous. I mean, generosity, when we talk about it will only stem when you are grateful within, if you feel grateful. So it is so you can't really measure gratitude in a particular sentence, but it is like if you are walking in a mall maybe, and all of a sudden you just feel like crying with happiness, and that's gratitude. It's not only about appreciating something, it's not only about being thankful, but that feeling has to come from within, and it is not an easy feeling to get. So I know a lot of people who started this gratitude of saying, okay, every day before I go to bed, I will write 3 things that I'm grateful for. But after some time, they realize that it's getting repetitive. They can't really find something that they're grateful for, and that the whole exercise kind of fizzles out. So it's beyond that. It is also, I think, what I have learned, it is also a journey to find your own self, to find what works for you, what are things that are important for you, and also believing into a greater power. So people who individuals who believe in God, it may be God for them, it may be the universal power, it may be your parents or anybody else.
Okay.
So it also creates that mindset or a belief that it like an anchor, that there is an anchor in your life.
So beautiful, so beautiful. So multiple definitions of gratitude,
Yes,
and you can just experience it. So
you have to experience it.
yes. तो एक बात बताओ कि when did you start teaching power of gratitude or probably experience first of all in your personal life? What are your personal experiences with gratitude?
So, as a psychologist or even as a coach, why do people approach us? They only approach us only when they're sad, they have problems, or they're in a situation which is hopeless and helpless, and that's the time you would either approach a coach or even a counselor. I mean, somewhere where you need improvement. So when people come and share so much of issues, you need a way that you at least can feel thankful for what is happening in your life, appreciate your life, because otherwise people's problem can suck you. So for me, I started practicing because that created a barrier for me in a way that I don't engage in other people's problem. When they come to me, of course, I kind of hear them, help them to kind of solve their situation, give them a different perspective. But I don't get involved in their challenges after they leave my office.
Correct.
Otherwise, the tendency is that you will think, once they leave your office also, you'll keep thinking about their issues and how, what can I do best, and what can I, and then you kind of get sucked in that negative energy in a way as well, because you're all the time thinking about their issues, which can be challenging and from a negative perspective. So I started practicing gratitude only to keep myself away and kind of start looking at my individual life, and create that disconnect. And then I as use this technique in my counseling sessions, where people don't feel, I mean, how do you get them to move from a negative perspective or a negative mindset to a positive one, especially sometimes when you are have low self-esteem, people who cannot sleep better. And for them, I started using gratitude, and it works. I'm not saying it is a journey by itself. It's not something that you do in a week and you get some results, immediate magical result, but it is a journey. You have to create that habit for yourself, to kind of get that feeling.
Oh,
So
that's so beautiful. So I'm sure if there is any viewer, so anybody who is coach or into the profession of psychology will appreciate and understand, because that's my personal experience too, that when you listen to others problem, when you are doing those live coaching sessions, success session, all those things, so the problem of your client stuck in your mind, that you want to solve that problem even the session is over, but the problem remains and you want to help that person in some manner. So I'm sure, so in case there is any coach in the audience right now, they can type in the comment that if you have experienced the same, that after doing your coaching session you still stuck with the problem of your client, you want to solve it, you keep thinking about it, and soon we are going to see some comment. And in the meantime we are waiting for comments which you can type below. And in case you have any question to Ashwini Bhave around power of gratitude, you can type in the comment box below and I'll take it with her one by one. Now, going forward, what are the scientific benefits of gratitude? Because there are so many Eastern sciences,
yes,
but with only personal observations. But beyond that, do
right.
we have any scientific benefits?
Of course, yes. So if you look at it, gratitude, in at least in the current 2 years, it's been started. People have started talking about it. There are a lot of people who are doing these challenges or gratitude clubs, because it is also a part of the research of a positive psychology, right? One of the things, when you practice gratitude, what does it do? It basically helps you to rewire your brain and your dopamine and serotonin. It kind of activates that chemicals in your body, which is called the happy hormones, right? And that gives you a feeling of feel good factor, or it kind of activates your bliss center of the brain and happiness. So science has proven that when you practice gratitude, it kind of triggers and activates your happy hormones. It kind of triggers your bliss centers, and then because of that you will feel in a way very centered. You start appreciating more, you start feeling a little more settled, happy. Even your self-esteem kind of increases, you start sleeping better. Also, when it kind of helps you, it kind of triggers a emotion that you can help more people. When you are grateful, when you feel grateful, then only can you start helping people, because you have
Uh,
something to offer to them. So
That's
practicing
so beautiful. That's so beautiful. But I have one question coming in
mm,
between.
right.
Before how to practice, I think the
Mm,
first and foremost thing before actually to start practicing something, that when
right,
we are happy, when we are having something, when we have happiness around us, we have success around us,
right,
so actually people
right.
usually think that I am the reason. So actually there is no feeling of gratitude. On other
Yes.
side, जब बहुत लाइफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आई हुई है, किसी को बहुत दिक्कत आ रही है, तब तो वैसे ही हम प्रॉब्लम में इतने उलझे रहते हैं कि उस टाइम, ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, ये सोच पाना कि इस टाइम ग्रैटिट्यूड की फीलिंग को कैसे ट्रिगर करें। तो ना
Right.
तो व्हेन आई एम हैप्पी आई एम फीलिंग लाइक डूइंग दैट ग्रैटिट्यूड पार्ट, और व्हेन आई एम सैड देन
Right.
अगेन, बट हाउ टू इवन स्टार्ट, हाउ टू गेट इनटू दैट ज़ोन कि ग्रैटिट्यूड की फीलिंग आ
Right.
पाए?
Right. So, whether we are happy or we are sad, as a human being, we always focus on the negative things. So, even if I ask you to think about situations that you felt sad, or somebody scolded you, or somebody betrayed you, all the negative feelings, you can start listing them absolutely soon. But if I ask you, okay, tell me in the last 10 years, who said something good about you, or somebody who praised you, we kind of struggle to find that, because our brain is wired in a way that we only remember negative aspects. Now with gratitude, what you need to, so you can start practicing gratitude by just smiling probably every day more, helping others, just open the door for somebody. Be aware of your surroundings in a way. Even small sounds like a bird chirping, we are not even aware in our so be aware. And of course a gratitude journal can really make it a practice. Whatever happens every day, before you go to bed, you write something that you're really grateful for, or maybe something that you're happy about in the day. Because what happens is, see, any thought that we have creates an emotion, or it triggers an emotion. And emotion, it's an it's basically your thought in action. Basically, that is what like an emotion creates. So if you have a negative thought, it will create a negative action to it. If you have a positive thought, you will create a positive thought. And it is also scientifically proven that if you hold a thought for 45 seconds, it kind of creates, it manifests in a way. So when you go to bed, if you sleep with a positive thought, you don't have your brain racking yourself, oh, this is not happening for you, oh, this is not happening, this is good, this is not working for you, or somebody else said something. You get that happy emotion throughout the night for about 4 to 6 hours. And it kind of helps you to rewire your brain to look at positive aspects. So when you probably get up in the morning, you'll feel a little more calmer, a little more happier. And if but you have to practice. As I said, it is a journey. It is not something that you can do it for a day or two. It has to be your lifestyle. And once you start looking at it, you will realize a lot of things about yourself. Like, for a simple example, in the last session we had, there was an individual who hasn't written in the last 15 years. He's been only typing. Any notes he has to make, he's doing it on the phone or on the laptop. But I recommended him that start writing. And after that, he's been writing so much, he's even started writing poems or songs, because he realized that it gave him an expression to kind of gave an opportunity to express whatever it was inside. And I'm sure you will agree that when you write, you're actually it triggers a lot of brain activities rather than just typing. When you write it in the notebook, it kind of triggers, and you can just start writing and expressing. So these are few things that you can immediately start doing. And
Oh,
of course, then,
that's not the few, actually the many things. Yes, you were
uh,
about to say something.
and of course, then you can join the 21 days gratitude program. So it
Yeah,
kind of gives
actually,
you
one of the participant has asked for the same. That
right,
one of the viewer is asking that how they can take your help to practice that, because we already know that there are certain good things that we know that we should do. It's like taking those physical exercise, but we
right,
still somehow lack and skip some days, and once we start skipping for a few days, we are out of track.
right.
So how you can help them?
Yes. So in any habit that you want to create, either you have to be extremely self motivated, that you are, there is something for you to make that change, and it has to be a greater something that in your life that you will do individually. But
Okay.
for most of the habits that you want to cultivate, I think of having a buddy system always works. That there is somebody with you who kind of is in that journey, and that helps us to be on track. Otherwise, your mind will say, okay, today let's just keep writing it, or let's just do it after some time. So a buddy system works, and that is why we are doing this 21 days awakening gratitude, because it will help everybody to be aligned. You will have other individuals in the same zone that you are in, and it kind of keeps a check on you. And also, it's every day you will find something to do, rather than you scratching your brain and figuring out what it is that you need to do, practice gratitude. So I think
That's
that, I mean, there is a system that is created so that it will trigger different emotions, and something different aspects in your life that you really need to look at and reflect upon. It gives you a lot of opportunity to reflect, which we normally on a day-to-day basis hardly spend time doing it.
okay. That's so interesting. So, and very exciting too. So, although there is the number scrolling in the bottom with the message that the number through which people can register for your workshop, but is there any other
Yes.
mechanism also to get in touch and know more about what are the financial details and how they can join this program?
So they can just message on this number, WhatsApp call. We have not actually included this in the on our website yet, um, but for now they can just, if somebody has to email us, I can share an email ID with you, maybe, that if that works, that if somebody is very comfortable just mailing, because not everybody is
Sure.
comfortable with WhatsApp or on a call.
Yes.
Yes, so I can share an email, which is very simple: Ashwini.Bhave, sorry, Ashwini Bhave at h2h.co.in.
Ashwani
So
Bhave at
at h2h.co.in, and it is ASHWINI, because in North India everybody spells my name as ASHWANI. So it's Ashwini Bhave, ASHWINI.
so I've just added it at the box
Yeah,
so people
Ashwini
can watch it.
Bhave. Yes.
ASHWINI Bhave at
INI.
h2h.co.in.
Yes.
So that email is there. Now,
Right.
a last question,
Hmm.
that when people join this program and they must
Hmm.
have gone through all this transformation, what are your,
Right.
you have shared one of the success stories, that person who joined your program,
Right.
how he felt and started
Right.
writing, and what are the
Right.
other success stories? Because especially during the current time of pandemic, people are
Yes.
going through very tense time. Corporates are
Yes.
organizing so many mindfulness
True.
and other stress relieving sessions, but
Right.
can gratitude can be helpful there too?
Absolutely. So, if you look at the Indian philosophy or our rituals, those rituals were created in a way that you kind of trigger that feeling, or you have that feeling of being grateful. And that is why a lot of practices or rituals are kind of woven, even it is, whether it's a prayer, whether it's chanting, they have an aspect of triggering the feeling, music, of feeling gratitude. So of course gratitude can be very helpful, um, by just practicing maybe some of our rituals as well. So when you are look, and in the mindful practices also, a lot of them have been included, and especially this program, we've kind of included both the Western philosophy of being grateful, and we have kind of customized to the Indian Eastern philosophy, or the Indian philosophy, or Indian psychology of being grateful.
Okay. Uh, that's so beautiful. There are different participants and people from different background who can take benefit of it. During our
Yes.
one of our earlier discussion, you have shared that how somehow you can help, especially the women, like women who are over the age of 40. And so, can you quickly
Yes.
cover what are the kind of problems that they particularly face and how gratitude can be helpful to them too?
Yeah, so one of the mostly women, I mean specifically by 45 and above, one of them, they have this empty nest syndrome, that they have dedicated their life to children, and now once the children are grown up, they don't know what to do about it. Also, there is a lot of things that they would want to do, but since there are so many family compulsions, that they're not able to tap their own potential, and they're only kind of in that mindset that nothing is working. They feel very hopeless because they're unable to earn, they don't feel that people respect them. And I think this gratitude program, like one of our participants in the last program, when we were talking about what gift can you give somebody, and we were asking individuals to make a note of that and share with us, she kind of, in the discussion, she said, during this whole kind of exercise, I realize that when I'm talking about gift, it is not materialistic, that I cannot go and buy something and give it to maybe my mom, to my mother-in-law, to any of my friends, but what I normally give them as gift is my time. But that, till that, before she was looking at that, she was always having this, that, oh, I don't have anything to offer other people. But once she started this program, it was her way of expressing her love towards her loved ones, or people that she would like to go and spend time. And I think After that, she felt very comfortable. No, it is not about going and buying gift, but when I'm going and spending time, that's also a gift. And she's that kind of quite changed the way she looks about things as well. um, so once you start practicing it, it is like an onion peeling. There are so many layers to gratitude that every day when you practice, there's something new that you can find about yourself. And people have been able to sleep better. People have been able to I mean, they were so dedicated that they used to get up at us for a call at 6 o'clock in the morning, for a 10 minutes call, which was no talking, nothing, but it was only musical meditation, that's about it, and chanting. But people were superly excited because when they started writing things and they started, there was some thoughts that we would share with them. So every day there was something which was shared, and that kind of triggered, gave them motivation to even get up so early and attend a session where it was only 10 minutes of music. But they would kind of, very actively, everybody just kind of joined the session. There are a lot of benefits. I think one of the benefit is also that it gives you something to introspect. It helps you to kind of look at things in a different aspect, because as I said, we only talking about negative aspect, but it gives you a perspective, to look at things a little more deeper rather than being superficial, because we all caught up in terms of, we now want a bigger house, we want a bigger car, we want a vacation, we want to probably travel, we want a branded stuff, but we're not looking at what in our internal system. So it kind of
Absolutely.
gives you some reflective moments, and it takes about 15 minutes in a day, that nothing more than 15 minutes, but it kind of helps you to rewire within.
So beautiful. I think your example of how women, especially at the age of 40 plus, what they are going through, because
Right,
sometime during within our families, they are sometime not, probably sometime got ignored, not intentionally, but so probably the way the system society is designed, that's how
right.
they are feeling that way. But yes.
I don't know whether I mean, a lot of women even realize or focuses on themselves. They may focus on buying things, maybe going to the parlor or looking good, or maybe buying sari or suits or whatever. Like you're outwardly this thing, and in the family also, they are said, "Oh, you don't look nice today. Go and do something, or maybe wear something nice." But nobody is looking at how do you internally feel about yourself. Maybe externally you don't realize it. I mean, that person might just look fabulous, but internally they may be shattered. And I know a few women, because they probably don't work, because they're just in that rut every day, they don't feel worthy of living as well. They don't feel, as if there's something in their life to look forward, for themselves. Maybe for the family, yes, there are a lot many things that they can look forward, but what are they looking forward for themselves? There's nothing that triggers them, and that creates, a low self-esteem, low confidence. You start avoiding people, and there are kind of, a lot of people feel, get into that depression sinking zone, but they don't know what to do.
So beautiful. So I'm sure I must appreciate your work that you are doing, especially for the women. In addition to the existing workshops and other programs that you are
Yes,
offering, especially about the gratitude program. And towards the end, I can just say that Real Education Live show is feeling and having this feeling of gratitude towards you. And thanks for coming to the show and sharing your
thank you
experience with
so
others. I'm
thank you
sure
so
this recording will help the future viewers also to help them get
Sure,
better. And thanks, Shakul,
absolutely.
for sharing your appreciation over the show. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for
Thank you
watching this
so
show.
much.
And we'll
Yes,
come back next time with next guest. And thanks again, Ashwani, for sparing your
thank
time
you.
and be on the show.
Thank you so much.
Bye
Thank you
bye,
so much.
everyone.
Bye.